Alright, scholars, so here is tonight's homework. I'm only going to go over number 3, and I hope you guys can figure out numbers 1 and 2 on your own. So let's read number 3. A rectangle has a perimeter of 28 units, an area of 48 square units, and sides that are either horizontal or vertical. If one vertex is the point -5, -7, and the origin is in the interior of the rectangle, find the vertex of the rectangle that is opposite -5, -7. So there's a lot of math vocabulary here, so let's try to break down some of that math vocabulary. All right, so the first word I want to go ahead and break down is perimeter. So perimeter is when we figure out what the side lengths are and we add them all together. So let's pretend like this is like worth 4. Each of these are worth 4. So if we're finding perimeter, basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out kind of like what the length of all the outsides added together would be. So it would be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is equal to 16. So that's the perimeter for this shape. That's not the perimeter for the shape that we're talking about in the problem, but that's just the definition of perimeter, the kind of the length outside of the shape, okay? So then area. So we have this another word, area, all right? And what area means is actually the space inside the shape. So let's say this is 4 and 4. The way we get area is we would actually multiply 4 times 4 to get 16. In this case scenario, the area and perimeter are the same thing, but that's not always true. So you take one side length and you multiply by the other side length. I'm sure you heard the area formula, length times width, okay? Equals area, all right? So let's go back here. So it says, a rectangle has a perimeter. So we know the perimeter is 28 units. The area is 48 square units, and sides that are either horizontal or vertical, okay? We don't know if the sides go up or down. Horizontal is side to side, vertical is up or down. All right, if one vertex, so vertex is a fancy word for corner of a shape. So for example, if I'm looking at a triangle, each of these are vertexes, or vertices, that's how you say plural. If I look like a square, the corner is a vertex. So we're basically looking at the corner. That's what a vertex is. Is a point, so we're given this point -5, -7, and the origin, where 0, 0, is somewhere in the interior or inside the rectangle. So the origin is going to be inside the rectangle somewhere. We don't know where it's going to be. And it says find the vertex of the rectangle that is opposite this. So we're trying to find, basically, if we find one point here, we're trying to find the opposite point or the point on the other side. That's what we're trying to do. So let's go back to what information we have. We know that the perimeter is 28, so it's 4 sides. And all 4 sides, whatever these side lengths are, when they add together, this plus this plus this is all going to equal 28. So we know something, oops, this is like, I'm writing sloppy. Let me start that over. We know something plus something plus something plus something equals 28. We also know that one side times another side is going to be 48. So the base times the width is going to be 48. So we know something times something equals 48. So the best way I actually know to solve this problem is I need to think about what times what equals 48. Okay, so what times what equals 48? There's only a certain number of ways to get 48. So let's see. One way we can get 48 is we can do 12 times 4. Another way we can get 48 is to do 6 times 8. Let's see if one of those work, okay? So let's pretend like one of these are 12 and one of these are 4. So if the base is 4 and the width is 12, then the opposite side of the rectangle will be the exact same size as this side because they're parallels, okay? So this side would be 12 and this side would be 4, right? So let's see what 12 plus 12 plus 4 plus 4 equals. So 12 plus 12 is 24 plus 8. 24 plus 8 equals 32. So we need a perimeter that is 28. So 32 is too big. So that one doesn't work. So this doesn't work. So let's try 6 and 8. So if this is 6 and this is 6, 8, if this is 8, this is 8. Okay? So let's go ahead and try and find the perimeter of this rectangle. Alright? So we know 6. Sorry, my cat's right here. Hi. Otis. Oh, don't play with the pen top. Bye, Otis. Sorry, students. Okay. So 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8. 6 plus 6 is 12. 8 plus 8 is 16. So 12 plus 16 is 28. Will that perimeter work? 28. So we go back up here. Up 28. So we already know that that's going to work. Perfect. So we know the two sides of the rectangle are 6 and the two lengths of the rectangle are 8. So we know this rectangle works. All right, because the area works and because the area length times width is 6 times 8, which is 48, which is the area that was given to us here. And if we add 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8, then we're going to get 28, which is the perimeter that was given to us. So this rectangle, length 6 and 8 fits the requirements. So now we just got to draw this rectangle. So let's go back to our passage and see what information we got. So we know our point is going to be -5, -7. So I'm going to actually have a piece of graph paper over here, right behind here. And, uh-oh, Otis took one of my markers. Luckily, I have one still. So I'm going to go ahead and graph the point that we said was -5, -7. All right? And so I know the middle is my origin. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go in negative direction, and this is my x-axis. Sorry. So that's positive direction. I'm going to go in negative direction. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So my x is supposed to be, because this is always your x coordinate, and this is always your y coordinate. Sorry, that's hard to read. So our x is -5, and we know our y is -7. So if this is 0, if I go up, that's my positive direction. I want to go down. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3. We don't want to go in the positive direction. We're going in the negative direction. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So our coordinates are where -5 on the x-axis and -7 on the y-axis meet, which is right here. So I graphed my first point of the rectangle. So going back to our math that we drew right here, we know that the height of the rectangle is going to be 6. So right now, we don't have a line segment or anything. We just have a point. So the way we find our rectangle is we simply just move up 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And we know that the width of our rectangle is going to be 8, so we just move up, move in this direction 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to be where this point is. So in order to find our last point, from here we can just go back up 6 more times. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And actually there's our rectangle. Our rectangle has 6 as the height and 8 as a width, a perimeter of 28 units, and an area of 48 square units. Last but not least, did we answer the question? So let's check back. It says a rectangle has a perimeter of 28 units, an area of 48 square units, and the sides that are either horizontal or vertical. If one vertex is -5, -7, and the origin, is in the interior of the rectangle, find the vertex. So the origin, this 0, 0 is supposed to be in the middle of our rectangle. But according to our math, so if that's our point, how would the origin be in the middle of the rectangle? So you see how the origin's right here? Is it in the middle of our rectangle? No. So that means that this is wrong. We have to actually do some additional math. 6, you see how this side length right here, 6? That's too short. We're gonna have to switch out this side length 6 to actually make it 8. So let me see if I can find my marker from Otis. Otis, do you have my marker? Let's see. Nope, he disappeared. What's my marker? I mean, he's there, but he's still my marker. I'm just gonna quickly erase this. And we're gonna have to start this part over, okay? So again, have my origin 0. Then I'm gonna graph the point -5, -7. And I'm gonna keep this point. But this time, for my side length, instead of going up 6 times, I'm gonna actually kind of rotate the rectangle. And I'm gonna go up 8 times here. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's one side. And then I have to go in this direction 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so then I have my rectangle. Looks a little bit different, but it's the same exact idea. We started off with a point that was, here it goes. Here was our original point right here. -5, -7 right here, and then we moved up 8 times. And this side length is 6. Okay, so let's read those instructions one more time to see if this one works. Okay, a rectangle has a perimeter of 28 units. Yes, we got that. An area of 48 square units. Yes, we got that. And a sides that are either horizontal or vertical. Okay, if one vertex of the point is -5, -7, and the origin is in the interior. So we have the origin and interior. We have that point. Find the vertex of the rectangle that is opposite. So we got to find something opposite of this point. So we know opposite can mean multiple things. It just means on the other side of 0. So since our 0 is right here, the point that's opposite of it is going to be on this exact side because it's on the other side of 0. So we just have to find the coordinates for this point because it's on the other side of 0. And the way we do that is we just look for the x. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So we know our x coordinate is going to be -5. Then we got to look for the y value. So if we go up 1 time, that's going to be +1. So this is the coordinates for the point that is opposite our original vertex. And that is how you solve number 3. That was a very challenging problem. Good luck on your homework tonight. I'm sure you can solve number 2 and number 1 now that you have been able to solve number 3. Good night.